September 1, 2026, I shall move that this House considers and adopts the report of the Thematic Committee on Peace and Security on Energy Security in Zimbabwe. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Zindi. Any further notices of motions? If there are no further notices of motions, we go to the next stage, which is questions without notice. Today being a Thursday, and in accordance with the Senate standing orders. I do have, before we do that, I've got with me here a list of honorable ministers who have tendered apologies, and it is as follows. The Honorable CGDN Retired General Dr. Chiwenga, the Vice President, the Honorable Retired Colonel KCD Mohadi, the Honorable, that's the Vice President, the Honorable B. Rodzi, Minister of Tourism and Hospitality Industry, Honorable Professor Dr. Murwiram, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Honorable Soda, Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Honorable Shawa, Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, Innovation, Science and Technology Development, Honorable Haritatos, the Minister of Lands, Rural Development, Honorable Jesiah, the Deputy Minister of Sports, Recreation, Arts and Culture, Honorable Sanyatwe, Deputy Minister of Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage, Honorable Marupi, the Deputy Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Honorable F. Moyo, Deputy Minister of Mines and Mining Development, Honorable Zhou, the Deputy Minister of Lands and Rural Development. In the Senate today, I would like to welcome Honorable Mona, Minister of Transport and Infrastructure Development, Honorable Ziambi, Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable T. Moyo, the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education, Honorable Makwira Nzou, the Deputy Minister of Mines and Mining Development. Questions without notice. Please switch off your phones or put them on silent. I have got Honorable Zindi, Honorable Moyo, Honorable, that's Honorable Kupfuma, yes. Honorable Mwe, Honorable, can you speak up, please? Mu? Aungwena, the crocodile. In that order, but before I do that, I want to apologize to Honorable Tawengwa. It was not intentional. I would like to recognize the presence of Honorable Tawengwa. We start with Honorable Zindi.
Mazvita mubati wechigaro. Mubvunzo wangu uri kuenda kuna Deputy Minister vezvicherwa zvepasi kana kuti upfumi hwepasi. vahonorable Nzou, Makwira Nzou, sorry. Ndaida kuti ndibvunze kuti urongwa huripo nebazi rawo ndehupi? Takatarisa nenyaya iri kuramba ichienderera mberi yekucherwa kwegomo reChristmas Pass, vachitsvaga vari kuchera vachona vari kuchera ndarama. Takambobvunza mubvunzo uyu vachiti zvichamiswa nekuti vagari venzvimbo vari muzasi megomo reChristmas Pass vakutya kuti kana kukaita mvura inenge yechivhuramahwe cheidai, cyclone idai, 20 meters deep dzacherwa mugero ndofunga wava kudarika kana 5 to 10 kilometers, ukazara nemvura ichierera kubva mugomo, inogona kutushuka yogeza dzimba dzese dziri muzasi megomo nechikoro chinonzi Hillcrest chinova neprimary nesecondary education. Ndehupi urongwa hwekuti zvakadaro zvimiswe, Mazvita?
Thank you, Honorable Zindi. Honorable Minister.
Ndinotenda Senate President, ndichitenda Honorable Zindi nemubvunzo wawandibvunza uyu. Zvedi mubvunzo iwoyu wakambobvunzwa ndokubva tatumira mainspector edu kuti vanotarisa kuti zvine ngozi here zviri kuitwa. Ngozi panga pasina, asi changa chiripo ndechekuti pari kuitwa heap leaching. Heap leaching hatibvume muno. Saka takaishuwa matsamba tichimisa zvese izvozvo. Asi sezvo seneta vandibvunza zvakare, ini ndiri kutofunga kuti zvakaitwa, regai ndidzokerere futi ndinotarisa. Asi instruction takatapa kuti pasaitwe zvikutaurwa naseneta izvozvo, heap leaching nekucherwa kwemakomba ari kutosvika kana kuma 20 meters. Ndinotenda Senate President.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Mazvita nekundipa mukana wechipiri. Ndakuda kunzwawo kubva kuna minister kuti zvinombofamba sei uye danho rinofanira kutorwa kana vanhu vachinge vadzidzwa zviri pamutemo kuti zvamuri kuita izvi muri kudambura mutemo, asi vanhu voramba vachienderera mberi sekutaura kuno kwatiri kutoita mudare muno, vari kutochera. Izvi ndichida kuzvifananidza zvakare nevaya vari kuchera muno muMaubra, kuti vari kuchera mudhorobha asi zvinonzi vakamiswa kuti musachera, asi vari kuramba vachienderera mberi. Zvinombofamba sei, Mazvita?
Honorable Minister.
Ndinotenda Senate President. Zvinoitika ndezvekuti kana tatumira mainspector edu kune kwamuka dambudziko seiri, vanobva vangonzi vamise, vobva vasiya vataurira mapurisa kuti tamisa kucherwa pano, ende tavamisira nemhaka kuti nemhaka yekuti. Saka izvozvo ndosaka ndati inini ndakapa instruction. Saka chasara ndechekuti sezvo minista ari kuti zvichiri kuitika, regai nditodzoka. Mukana wacho ndewekutoti tinofanira kutoti mapurisa vaende ikoko. Asi ndinoda kutaurirawo senators indi kuti kazhinji kacho tinosenza neEMA. EMA takatoitaurira vakaendawo ikoko. Saka regai tivataurirewo zvokuti aiwa zvamuka zvekare vanhu vaya vandofunga vakazodzoka havana kuteerera. Saka tichaenda neema nemapurisa. Ndingangoda kutaura Senate President nekuti senators ndivasimudza nyaya yekuMarlborough. Nyaya yekuMarlborough takaifambira permanent secretary wangu nemumwe wangu deputy minister vakaenda ikoko vachinotarisa zvedi vakaona kuti kuri kutocherwa. Isisu iyoyo tinoiti urban mining. Hatibvumidze urban mining unless yatobvumidzwa local authority. Saka tikaenda zvekare nemapurisa. Mapurisa ndo vatatongomirira kuti vaone zveshuwa kuti hapasi kucherwa. Ndatenda Senate President.
Okay. Minister dai mukamisa zvinhu zvakadaro. Ndifunga kuti zvinoti pachimiro chakanaka vanhu kuchera zvicherwa muguta. Kwete. Two more honorable ministers have joined the chamber. Honorable Garwed, Minister of Local Government and Public Works. Welcome, Minister. As well as Minister M. Mavunga, the Minister of Veterans of the Liberation Struggle Affairs. Welcome, Honorable Minister. Next on my list, I've got the Honorable Senator Moyo.
Ngiyabonga President wethala eliphezulu. Umbuzo wami uzaya ku Minister wezokuthutha Minister of Transport. Sonke isikhathi uMinister ubefika lapha simchayela izandla sinanzelela ukuthi umsebenzi owenzayo ukhanya ngani umsebenzi omuhle. Umbuzo wami ukuthi Minister sesibona kathesi ngasinanzelela ikakhulu imigwaqo emkhulu abathi ngama highway asefile ukufa kwawo ngendaba yamatruck njalo sibona babhizi bazama ukupheja njengabantu abagambela iBhurugwe indawo lokifile. Sicela bakwazi ukuthi njengelizwe elikhulu kangaka imigwaqo emikhulu leyo sizayilungisa ngayiphi indlela. Njalo sinanzelele eMathebelendi kule Independent imigwaqo ibilungiswa kubo Plumtree eMatopo kodwa manje kuhlela kusalungiswa kwasale endleleni. Kungaba kukhathazwa yini Minister?
The Honorable Minister of Transport and Infrastructure Development.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me also thank Honorable Senator Moyo for that very important question, which I do concur that yes, some projects had stalled, and I'm glad to say in particular the Matobo section that he was talking about. I'm glad to say that we have resumed works in some sections and will be full throttle just in the near coming weeks. All contractors will have mobilized. And he has raised a very pertinent question pertaining to the overloads, trucks damaging our roads, which is again an appeal, especially to the mining communities, where Mr. President said that instead of complying, some of the mining companies have resorted to travel during midnight so that they actually avoid our usual checkpoints. But we have upped our game again in the ministry, where we are also going to be having shifts for our VID officers so that we man our roads 24/7. But this is contrary to the good practice, Mr. President, where we anticipate and expect transporters to comply with the required quantities whenever they use our roads. And the ideal and long term is we are going to mandate those trucks, especially those mining companies, so that they transport their goods through railway line. And in that regard, we are also inviting the private sector to partake in the exercise of making sure that we have the rolling stock on our railway line so that we transport our goods through railway line, therefore would then lessen the burden from our roads and to the railway line. And I'm happy that once again, not only the Matabeleland roads that he has talked about, but countrywide on some of the projects that were stalled. It's also good to apprise this very august House that we now have a framework for funding our infrastructure, which has been approved, and I want to thank the Second Republic under the wise leadership of His Excellency Comrade Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, that we now have a framework of funding our roads besides the fiscus. Where we're waiting for budget, it would take time, and we know our road network. But now we've got an infrastructure funding model in place, and coming 1 week or 2 weeks, we'll be tapping into that fund where we've mobilized funding through banks, and we'll be funding those stalled projects. So you will see a change, especially in those projects that were stalled, where we are going to accelerate again road rehabilitation programs. I thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Supplementary, Honorable Mlochwa.
Thank you, Mr. President. My supplementary, Mr. President, will be still on the roads, and we realize that the roads that have been completed are deteriorating. What measures is the Minister using to hold contractors accountable for the substandard work that would have been done? Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. President, and let me also thank Honorable Senator Mlocho that in the National Assembly I want to raise this same, responded to a similar question where I was saying, I think with the preview of this again, this Augusta House, it is also important that we take through, honorable members, through how road construction is done, because we have got a certain numbers of us, especially in this Augusta House, where at times if a road is done overseal, it's like it's a new road. And overseal is just like we are laying a tar on top of an existing structure. So you find that in some cases, potholes are prone to actually come out on sections that are weak. And when we talk of road reconstruction, it means reconstructing a road from scratch, or it could be an earth road. So those categories are very important, so that whenever you see a road deteriorating, you must tell, if it's a new road, it's supposed to last for 20 years. What you then need to do is routine maintenance after every 5 years. But a resale, it means the road in some sections, it will be weak, and you see potholes mushrooming. So to a lay person, it's like it's shoddy work. So it's also very important. But to answer a question, Honorable Madam Senator, it's also good we take our contractors to account that there is a defect liability clause in our contracts, so that if it actually deteriorates before the agreed time, we are supposed to redo the work. And in most cases where you see contractors starting to do the work, we don't pay until we certify that the work has been done. So this is to allay your fears that at times we pay and then we have to follow the contractor. It's the other way around. If you see shoddy work being done, the contractor is not paid until we are certified that works have been done accordingly. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Another minister has joined us. That's Honorable Kazembe, the Minister of Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage. You are welcome, Minister. Next on my list is
another follow-up, Mr. President. Sorry.
She is supplementary. Yeah.
Mr. President, for allowing me to join this debate on roads. There was a day I was traveling from Bulawayo to Victoria Falls. And on the road just after Wange town, there were 12 30-ton lorries after the bumper to bumper, moving on the newly constructed road from Wange to Victoria Falls. Are we sure, Minister, that these lorries are 30 tons. Because the way I looked at them, they were carrying lithium. I don't know what type of lithium it was from that. 12. I suspected that these were not 30 tons on the road. There could have been 50 or more tons on those lorries. Why are we not having weigh bridges on these roads so that we know exactly what is moving on our roads? To come up with the new railway system may take time, but I think coming up with weigh bridges, particularly on sections where we know heavy trucks will travel, I think it will help us to maintain our roads in a good state. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me also thank Honorable Senator.
Please switch off your mic. No, I was talking. Please carry on, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. President. And also to thank Honorable Senator Gotora. I'm sure, like what I alluded to earlier on, that yes, it calls for the whole of society again, and the moral standing, where at times I indicated that, especially along that corridor, where truckers had resorted to move during awkward times. But we have a weigh bridge at Wange, where we were manning, but now we just need to make sure that it's manned 24/7. But in addition to that, Mr. President, we are adding more weigh bridges. And we've already tendered, we've awarded, and you see new weigh bridges along very strategic sections of our roads. And we'll be having those so that we address such concerns as raised by Honorable Senator Gotora. And in some cases, the infrastructure, the railway line is there already. So it's again to appeal to the mining communities to say, let's then divert our traffic to the railway line. And in some cases, it's deliberate, Mr. President, where people have got their own reasons of not wanting to divert traffic to the railway line. And in terms of doing business, some companies were owning those trucks, making sure that they carry excess loads on those trucks, bypassing some of the banned sections. But we are addressing some of these concerns. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Also joining the chamber is the Deputy Minister of Energy and Power Development, Honorable Simbane Gawi. Welcome, Minister. Next on my list is Senator Fuma.
Ndinotenda, Mr. President. Inini wangu mubvunzo uri kunanga kuna Minister Mona. Ndinoimba ndakambobvunza zvakare nezve-NRZ. Ndakubvunza zvakare kechitu. Washandi we-NRZ vane time wasikuwana mihoro. Ndinoimba kubva muna October last year kusvika maybe ziti May wakahora kamwe chete. Ende pawanohora ukatarisa mari dzinohorwa nevanhu ivavo ishoma shoma. Zvakamboitika futi kumashure uko toti kuma 2010 tichiuya kuzosvika kuma chazuti 2022 here kana 2020 vanhu vanga vasingapiwe mari, vaipiwa mari after 3 months. Wapiwa after 3 months waipiwa half salary. Pakazoti pakauya futi mabond, wabva wati instead yekupa vanhu mari dzavo dzanga dziri dzekumashure vachireta, I don't know kuti wakazvifambisa sei, vakapa vanhu 40,000 bond. Mari yanga isingambokwani kana kuti inosvika pavalue yekuti pamari dzavaifanira kudzoserwa dzaifanira kutenga kana stand, kana kuti munhu ainge akatenga stand aifanira kudevelopa ichitopera. But wakapiwa mari yanga isingambokwani kutenga kana 50 bags dzecement. Izvezvi zvatanga futi havasi kutambira. Vanhu vakatombowa nehope papakanzi general manager anga aripo abva. Papinda mumene mukadzi akaiswa nguva yapera. Mukadzi vanhu vachivimbiswa vachinzi musastrike munhu ari kuuya munyowani ari kumirira kupiwa mari nehurumende. Kana apo munyowani mozopiwa mari dzenyu. Kumashure uko vamwe vanhu vakasiya mabasa vakanyeperwa kunzi vachazowedzerwa mari kana vava vashoma, but zviri kuramba zvichienderera. Saka ndiri kutiwo kuna minista, ndezvipiwo zvamuri kuita seministiri kuona kuti shuwa washanda havapiwo mari dzavo. Nekuti chokwadi zvinhu zvakaoma kuti murume mukuru anobuda mumba achienda kubasa, but achingouya mwedzi nemwedzi asina kana chekuratidza kumhuri yake.
Mazvita honorable, munadzidzawo kuvhunza mubvunzo muchidimbu, kwete kuita kare hako dzepfunde kwaiwapo kusvika uko. Honorable Minister.
Ndinotenda vanoremekedzwa mutungamiri wedare reSenate. Ndinotenda zvakare vanoremekedzwa Honorable Senator nemubvunzo wavo wavabvunza wakakosha uyezve unosuwisa. Mutemo wehurumende unoti munhu wese anoshanda anofanira kuripirwa. Saka ndo chekutanga. Kana asina kuripirwa vanenge vaine kuwirirana kuti anozoripirwa zvarini. Asi vasimudza nhau yeNRZ yandinofunga kuti ndikakupai mhinduro kuti sei vasati vapedzera ivo vari kuziva nemwedzi isati yabhadharwa vanhu. Zvakanaka sei kuti tikava nekutsvakurudza kuti mwedzi yavanga vari kutaura kuti yakawanda zvakadini, uyezve munoziva kuti isu sebandiko reMinistry of Transport nekuda kwekuuya kwakaita Mutapa Investment ndo yakuona nezuva remafambiro anoita bandiko reNRZ. Isu teichinyanya kuwanikwa kunyaya yepolisi. Kana iri polisi teichirowedzera kuti vanhu vabhadharwe ndo patinoita kuperera. Asi saizvozvo tinoenda kunotsvakurudza kuti kana iri nhau yemari tonzwa kuti chikonzero chii. Asi mutemo wehurumende one uchiti vanhu vanofanira kunge vachiripirwa mari dzavo. Ndinotenda.
Mazvita, the Honorable Senator Mackenzie Ncube.
Thank you, Mr. President. My question is directed to the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education. Honorable Minister, in terms of Heritage-Based Education 5.0, what aspects of it are pertinent to youth empowerment and employment creation? Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Senate President. I wish to thank the Honorable Member, Honorable Senator Mackenzie Ncube, for such a pertinent question. His question is on youth empowerment and employment creation. Mr. President, we are implementing the heritage-based curriculum under 5.0 model of philosophy. So the 5 pillars, Honorable Senate President, are teaching, research, contribution to community development, innovation, and industrialization. We are inculcating values as well as skills in our learners so that they are able to solve societal challenges. They should have critical thinking skills. They should think outside the box, without that box. Our learners are supposed to address any challenges that they meet in their schools, in their villages, in rural areas, in urban areas. One of the major aspects of the heritage-based curriculum is the issue of TVET, Technical and Vocational Education and Training, Mr. Speaker, sir, where we inculcate life skills. We want all our schools to implement TVET so that learners are equipped with life skills such as electrical engineering, motor mechanics, civil engineering, bricklaying, carpentry, and many other skills. We have a number of schools that are already implementing TVET. We now have primary schools that are now technical schools. A good example is Kureza Technical Government Primary School, where learners at a very youthful age are equipped with these competencies. We have students at a high school in Bulawayo, St. Columbus, where learners from Form 1, they study motor mechanics. By the time they get to Form 2, Form 3, they are able to fix motor mechanical challenges. And motorists who do not prefer to go to well-established, garages, they go to school, to a high school, because the prices are low. We have a number of schools doing computer engineering. Students write lexical exams in Form 2. Electrical engineering, go to Fletcher. Girls in Form 2, they write electrical engineering programs. By the time they are in Form 3, they are already Class 2, Class 3 holders of electrical engineering certificates. Any electrical challenges that are faced in their homes, in their schools, they are able to fix them. So education is important. That is why our President, Comrade Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, said education that does not produce goods and services for our people is useless. And that is why Nelson Mandela had to say education is the most powerful weapon that can change our communities. That is why we have aligned the heritage-based curriculum with the national trajectory, the national vision of the President of having an empowered upper middle income status by 2030. And to achieve that, that can be attained through education. And learners who finish O-level, A-level may not decide to go to university, may decide to, will be self-equipped. They will be self-employed. You can look at somebody who is now, who is a Class 2 motor mechanics, Class 1 electrical engineer. That person becomes self-employed and may not want to seek employment. That's the relevance of education. That is why we are saying, that is why the African Union Commission on Education has recommended that in 2027, the rest of Africa should follow the footsteps of Zimbabwe of having the heritage-based curriculum. I submit, Honorable Senate President.
Supplementary.
Supplementary, Senator Mzerengi.
Ndinoda kutenda Minister nekupindura nekutsanangura. Asi ndiri kuda kuti Minister, zvakanaka chaizvo zvatanzwa muchitsanangura. Asi muri kutarisawo here mukaha uripo pakati pevana vari muzvikoro zviri mumaruwa nevana vari muzvikoro zviri mumaguta. Nokuti izvozvizvi mukaenda kumaruwa munowana kuti pachikoro chimwe chakuti vana kana vakagara vanoona panze. Ndezvekare zvikoro izvozvo wowanikwa zvekuti ikoko hakusi kusvika magetsi. Zvazvinoreva ndezvekuti zvirongwa zvese zvamuri kutaura ikoko zvinogona kutadza kusvika. Saka zvirongwa zvamunazvo zvokuti mukaha uripo uyu nevana vari kubhinga kana vari kumudzi kana vari kuchikombedzi vagogonawo kusangana nemukana wakuwanikwa nevamwe kuitira kuti nako kuita madhokota namapilots varege kuwandira divi rimwe. Zvirongwa zvipi zvamunazvo Minister? Tatenda Mr. President.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Ndinokutendai mubati wechigaro. Ndichitenda Honorable Senator Mzerengi.
Honorable Senator Mzerengi. Thank you.
Ndichitenda Honorable Senator Mzerengi nemubvunzo wavasimudza wokuwedzera. Baba vaMnangagwa vanozikanwa nemashoko ekuti hakuna dunhu kana munhu anofanira kusara kumashure. Uongo mukaha wanga uriko wekuti vana vekumadhorobha vanga vari pari nani pakuwana zvinhu zvekushandisa zvekudzidza nazvo, vari kumaruwa vachisarira kumashure. Kutaura kwandiri kudayo mubati wechigaro, tine zvinhu zvakawanda zvatiri kuita kuti mukaha iwoyo uvharike. Chekutanga, toda kutenda mukuru wenyika vakatipa maStarlinks 8,000. Muno munyika tine zvikoro 11,700. Kureva kuti 8,000 ndo zvataisa kuzvikoro zvanga zvisina kukonektiwa kuWi-Fi. Zvanga zviine Wi-Fi 3,500. Tikaedha 8,000 tinoona kuti tinenge taane 11,500. Kureva kuti patinosvika kuna December gore rino, hakuna chikoro chemuno munyika chinenge chisina Wi-Fi, chinenge chisina magetsi ezuva, chinenge chisina magetsi eNational Grid. Tichienda mberi mubati wechigaro, takasaina MOU ndobva takurudzira vano ma-MP ese nyika yese hazvina basa kuti bato ripi. Tikati iko kuya kune zvikoro zvakasaririra, tipei mazita azvo. Kutaura kudayo mubati wechigaro, ndaane list ine zvikoro 1,100. Isusu tiri kutageta kuvandudza zvikoro 1,350. Kureva kuti kana kuine dzimwe nzvimbo kuMarsh East kana kunzvimbo dzataurwa naSenator Mzerengi dzakasarira kumashure, kana kuchine zvikoro zvemapango, tipei zvikoro izvozvo. Mari yatinayo iyi yakawandisa yekuti tine mari yakawandisa yekuti patinosvika next day kune kusina chinonzi satellite school. Tine mari yakawanda zvekuti chinonzi satellite school kwekuteta dzima kune kusina chikoro chinenge chinzi hachina magetsi, tinoisa ezuva, toisa mubati wechigaro tine yatingati pachirungu ambitious program. Tiri kutarisira kuti mwana wega wega tichamutengera laptop netablet, toisa ma-innovation hubs. Mari yacho itoripo mubati wechigaro. Saka zvemukaha zviya zvaive zvekumashure kwatakuendawo kuti takutaura zvinhu zvekuvaka nyika yekwedu. Nyika inovakwa nevene vayo. Ndatenda.
Supplement, follow-up question.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. I hope those ambitions and dreams become reality, because you are really aiming very high. Supplementary, Honorable Matibiri.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for those exciting news around developments in our education sector. My question still centers on how Education 5.0 is responding to the aspirations and visions of our country, namely to make Zimbabwe an upper middle income society by 2030. Given the high teacher-pupil ratio prevalent in many of Zimbabwe's schools, in particular government schools, how feasible, Honorable Minister, is the evaluation of the acquisition of these critical skills that are necessary to transform our society in particular, or for instance, the acquisition of critical thinking skills? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Honorable Senate President, I wish to thank Honorable Senator Matibiri for his question. In fact, he has asked what I had responded to when the first questioner asked the question on how we are going to realize an upper middle income society in Zimbabwe. Like I said earlier on, Honorable Senate President, education is a driver, is an enabler of economic growth and development. When we talk of an upper middle income society, we envision a Zimbabwe where the capital consumption, the capital income, which we can find by calculating the gross domestic product by the total population, we envision that the capital consumption should be hovering around 7,000. For us to get to that point, it can only be achieved through the power of education. Education will equip our learners. We have critical thinking skills because we have the resources. What I promise is not something, it's not a pipe dream, Honorable Speaker, Senate President. It's not a pipe dream. We are going to implement building new schools, building innovation hubs, ICT hubs, starting in September. By the time the third term will be opening, we'll be implementing all those new developments. We are going to build new schools, existing ones. We do refurbishments, renovations, and because we have aligned the heritage-based curriculum with the national vision, for us to have new developments, economic development, that can only be done through the power of education because it has a transformative impact, positive impact in terms of the livelihoods of our people. We can only develop this country through the power of education because we want universities to do some innovations, primary schools, secondary schools to come up with patterns. These will be, will give them support in form of starter packs so that they don't remain designs, but they become real innovations which will develop our country, Zimbabwe. That's why we have our learners, they always exhibit these innovations so that they don't remain prototypes. We have quite a number of students in Zimbabwe. We have one student from Manicaland, Musikavan constituents, who invented the vehicle, Honorable Senate President. People may think we are lying, but we are telling us the truth. We have students who have discovered irrigation infrastructure using their small phones. A student at Matora Nembe in the rural areas in Marsh West, he discovered irrigation infrastructure can send some codes. Irrigation infrastructure located in Chinhoyi, 120 kilometers from here, can send commands through his phone and can send some signals, say, tap A, can you irrigate plot D? And that happens. Water would ooze out automatically because of the power of innovation. And that would change our livelihoods because these are innovations. And we, like I said, we want our learners to think big, to dream of a better Zimbabwe. And that can only be changed through education. And in that way, we are able to realize the vision of the president earlier than 2030, I submit.
Thank you. Also in the chamber, Honorable P. Mavima, the Minister of National Housing and Social Amenities, and his deputy, Honorable M. Ncube. Welcome, Minister. And Deputy Minister Ncube. Another supplementary. Time is running out and you keep on. Okay, supplementary, Honorable Zindi.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to make a follow-up on the response by Honorable Minister.
of the innovations that he has informed this House by these pupils or students, is there a policy on follow-up to fund such innovations so as to replicate and enable farmers to use such innovations? For example, the irrigation that he has just mentioned. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Honorable Senate President, I wish to thank Honorable Zindi for the question. Just 3 months ago, the Cabinet approved that 3% of the GDP of Zimbabwe will finance research and innovation. Innovation is one of the 5 pillars of the Heritage-Based Education 5.0. So it means funding will be extended to students who introduce those innovations that are important. And in that regard, there is support going to be given to students, and it will cascade to farmers, to miners, to everyone. I submit.
Thank you. Next on my list is the Honorable Senator Ngwena.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. My question is directed to the Minister of Transport and Infrastructure. How is the ministry addressing the increasing number of road traffic accidents, and what road safety programs are being implemented? Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. President. And let me also thank Honorable Senator Ngwena for that very important question, which is also disturbing. That quite a number of times I've been in this august House saying and appealing to the people of Zimbabwe that as we embark on a journey, we must take cognizance of the fact that we are not the only user of a particular road. There are also users that must be respected. And we have seen that the attitude, Mr. President, is disturbing of our motorists, where in terms of a UN report that we got, that about 94% is attributed to human error. And as much as we do our awareness programs through Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe, and I'm again inviting this august House tomorrow, will be just a few kilometers from this point towards Mazowe, where we are launching our campaign for the Heroes Holidays. Appealing again to the people of Zimbabwe to say we must respect one another, make sure that we observe our rules when it comes to driving, and regardless of the fact that we've been advocating for this for years, we continue to see our numbers disturbing. Where we're talking of 5 per day, now we're talking of 7 to 8 per day. And these are fatalities that we record on the spot. What about those that will die as a result of road traffic accidents thereafter? So it's quite disturbing, Mr. President. And I do agree that we've been calling, but it calls for the whole of society approach, where we must be responsible. I've got my colleague, Minister here in our midst, Minister of Home Affairs. At times we say it's our police, at times we say it's our VID, but it goes beyond that, Mr. President, where it is called, where we are calling for the change of attitude whenever we are driving, so that no one knows what will happen to you the next time you are on a road or you are on a journey. And this is happening, and we will continue blaming one another. But surely you see that no matter how someone is trained, the behavioral changes now, as a result of a number of factors, are now causing these accidents. And surely, whether they are public service vehicles, why would you then overload? Why would you then go beyond the restricted speed limit? So it's something that also calls again for us as legislators to say, let's take ownership, everyone, rather than to attribute to a particular department or to a particular ministry. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Supplementary, Mr. President.
Supplementary, Honorable Ndlovu.
Thank you very much.
Rita.
Mr. President, umbuzo wami uya kuMinister ukuthi yes siyabona ama-accident ayenzakalayo and ama-causes akhona maningi kakhulu, but iwari yami yi-problem yenkomo eziba semgwaqweni. Uwapha amalungiselelo eliwenzayo ukuthi inkomo zingabi semgaqweni, and like uMinister sitsho ukuthi yi-attitude. Uzafika ukuthi kuyafaka iwaya along the roads kube lamagedi, but abantu bachiya amagedi ekhamsile, abantu bayekela inkomo zemgwaqweni. Kuyini umthetho bani ongafakwa ukuthi kubonakala ukuthi akula nkomo ezibonakala emgwaqweni? And again ungakhangela inkomo ukuthi ziba ngaphi, is from Shangani usiya koBulawayo. Nxa usuka eShangani usiza eHarare akula nkomo esemgwaqweni. Angikwazi ukuthi uMinister impendulo yakhe iyathini ngakhona lokho, ngoba yikho kwenza isikhathi esiningi kube lama accident along Bulawayo Harare Road. Ngiyabonga.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me also thank Honorable Senator Love for that question, which is disturbing again. We took a deliberate approach to fence our corridors, and people had to go by night vandalizing and stealing. Again, the kind of people we are as a nation is also disturbing, Mr. President. Where we are supposed to safeguard our infrastructure, you see people destroying our infrastructure. But this is our own infrastructure. And you've seen that wherever we do that, there is also legislation in place, which has been there time immemorial, to say you mustn't allow your cattle to stray. And if they do stray, a particular RDC or a local authority in that jurisdiction must confiscate the stray animals and auction. So it's very clear. And you normally see that farmers, they run away if there's an accident caused by a cattle. They know that there is a law in place. But we also appeal again to our people to say, why do you allow then your cattle to stray, especially during night? One, you actually cause losses in terms of our asset base as individuals and dangers to the motorists. So this is again that to continue raising awareness to our people that we must take charge of our cattle, and as much as drivers must exercise caution, but we must also make sure that we protect our infrastructure. We are doing that currently, Mr. President, where we had the Shurugwi-Mandamabwe New Road, and we've managed to fence it, Shurugwi-Mandamabwe. Now we are almost done on Mandamabwe to Chivi, making sure that we don't have, and we've agreed with villagers that this is our infrastructure. We must have committees to man and protect the fence. So this is again an appeal where we are continuing. You find that as we then construct our roads, we are having that provision to make sure that we fence. So you see, this is the model that we are adopting. But we cannot continue to fence and people stealing that fence. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. I'll take another round of questions, even though there is only 2 minutes left. And it says follows: Kotora, Makamba, Katumba, Ndlovu, Richard, Mlela Umlilo. Yes, Senator Mpandi from Binga. Right. And Senator Gotora?
Ndatenda Mr. President nokundipa mukana uyu. Mubvunzo wangu wakanangana na Minister we Home Affairs. Mutemo wataurwa na Minister we Transport Westray wemombe dzinopinda mumugwagwa. Chokwadi wakagara uriko. Ndingangodawo kuziva from the Minister of Home Affairs kuti vanhu vangani varidzi vemombe vati vambosungwa because mombe dzavo dzinenge dzakrosa mugwagwa dzaitisa accident vanhu vachifa. Pane vari kumbosungwawo here because haisi nyaya nyowani toziva kuti fenzi tiri kuba, asi kana mombe dzazopinda murodhi dzichiuraya vanhu ndingangoda kuziva kuti pane vari kusungwawo here varidzi vemombe vari kuita mombe dzavo kuti dzipinde kunouraya vanhu murodhi. Mazvita.
Honorable Senator Gotora, I think you want to withdraw that part where you say how many people have been arrested. Surely you don't expect the minister to give you a figure just like that. But are there any people who are being arrested for negligence in terms of allowing their livestock to roam freely? Are those cattle being impounded and are people being arrested? I think that's a fair question.
Mr. President,
okay. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Can you please switch off the mic? Yeah. Minister?
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you for also coming to my rescue. Surely there was no way I was going to know the number of people that have been arrested, just offhand. But in any case, if the Honorable Senator still wants such numbers, it would be better to put that question in writing, and I'll get the official correct figures from the police. But having said that, Mr. President, I would like to assure the Honorable Senator that everyone who commits crime is arrested in this country, for as long as the crime is known, reported, or observed. There's no one who is above the law. As to how many have been arrested in that regard, it's a bit too technical for my very small brain. But I promise to bring the answer should the August House require the answer. I so submit, Mr. President, sir.
Thank you. Order. Order. In terms of standing order number 67, time for questions without notice has expired. Honorable Mloswa.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm appealing to your very good side, considering that today we have a lot of ministers. If you can extend the time for questions without notice, I thank you.
Who seconds?
I do second, Mr. President.
By how many minutes?
Mr. President, I would have preferred 30, but 15 would be okay.
30, up to 3 o'clock. I recognize the Honorable Senator Makamba.
Thank you, President of the Senate. Minister Mona, vangatipo ere update ne construction ye road ye Mukumbura ndoda Hondo Highway. Uyezve mukutanga kwegore ndinoona ivo na Minister Kazembe vakambotaura nyaya yekuti kuri kuiswa makamera kune dzimwe nzira kuitira kuti zvibatsire kuona kuti nying'anying'a mugwagwa ndaanani. Vangatipo here update yekuti zvaapapi zvemakamera izvo. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister.
Ndinotenda vanoremekedzwa mutungamiri wedare reSenate. Ndotenda zvakare vanoremekedzwa Honorable Senator Makamba. Mukanditendera ndichapindura bandiko rekutanga, rimwe bandiko repiri ndosiyirawo kune mumwe wangu Minister we Home Affairs kuti vange vachipindura nhau yemakamera mugwagwa medu. Ndoda kutenda zvikuru ndichiti mubvunzo wawasumudza wakakosha zvikuru, uyezve ndinofara kuti mavhiki mashoma apfuura takaenda nacontractor wedu kuti anosimudzira basa sezvo angawana mukana wekuti ashande pachirongwa ichocho. Asi chandei chida kuvavimbisa ndechekuti haachangosimudzira chete, asi tiri kuona zvakare nekutsvakurudza kuti tinoona kuti bhodha patinodyidzana neMozambique tapavandudza sei. Saka ndinovavimbisa kuti mugwagwa wavataura wekuenda kuMkumbura uyo watinoziva kuti tasara nezvikamu zvinokwana kuita 23 kuti tinosvika kubridge tava kushanda. Uyezve ndichitenda kuti nekuda kwehomwe yandambotaura yamisikidzwa iye ndo mamwe zvimwe zvezvirongwa zvatinenge tichitarisira kuti nehomwe iyoyo hatisina chichatidzosa kumashure zvakare kuti tikamboshanda tombomira. Ndinotenda zvikuru Mazvita.
Thank you. Second part about cameras, Honorable Minister Kazembe.
Tinotenda mubati wechigaro. Ndoda kutenda zvakare Honorable Senator Vamakamba nemubvunzo wavabvunza kuti takambovimbisa kuti tichaisa makamera ongo. Takavimbisa and Mr. President tiri kutoisa kuti atakwanisa kuita. Vakapinda mutauni muHarare umu. Atovemo makamera kutosungirwa kuti atakwanisa kuita. Vakatendera nzira dzakawanda dzatove makamera. Makamera iwaya ato ndikatotora mukana uno Mr. President kuzivisa vagari vemuZimbabwe kuti hakuna mhosva iwori. Makamera akasungirwa arikutosungirwa iwaya akutobata mhosva. Vanhu vari kupinda vari robots. Chatisati takwanisa kuita iko zvinozvi tamirira pari kutauriranwa pakati pepolisi netreasury netail 1 nekuti pakawiriranwa kuti pano kugohana kwemari kana tail 1 yapedza kuisa makamera aya. Kuti zvitike izvozvo pana kuwirirana kuti mari iri kuenda bhengi ripi zvakazodini izvozvo zvitogadziriswa. Asi makamera basa akutoita akatosungirirwa aya. Tinotori nelist yevanhu vese vari kupara mhosva izvozvi nemavideo evidence pawakapinda headrobot pawaifamba wakabata foni uchidhiraivha zvese zvatovepo zviri kungoungana nekuti mhosva haiori. Pazvinongopera izvi taakudzokera kumashure vese vakapara mhosva vose vakusangana nemhosva dzavo nekuti evidence yacho yese iripo. Saka ndinokumbira kuti Senator Makamba kana vapinda mutauni muHarare vafamba chingotarisa murodhi vatarise mudenga makamera avamo. Iyi phase 1 yatiri kuita pane phase 2 poita phase 3 tichaenda kuBulawayo tichaenda kwaMutare kwese tichatenderera asi tinoda kwandiri kuita basa riri kuitwa tinotenda.
Supplementary.
Supplementary Senator Chapudza.
Ndoda kutenda mubati wechigaro. Ndoda kuti minister vatijekesere panhau yamakamera aya kuti iyo midziyo inoita kuti mota dzipfuure nokumiswa inombosvika painotadza kufamba zvakanaka. Saka dzimwe dzenguva rinogona kuramba riri red risingadi kuenda kugreen. Vanhu votoona kuti robot harisi kufamba zvakanaka but kamera inenge ichizviwisisa here kuti iko zvino midziyo iyi haisi kushanda zvakanaka nokuti iyo ichangoona ndichipinda pared robot. Dzimweni dzenguva nokuda kuwanda kwetraffic mapurisa ndoona anosvika paanombobatsiridza kuti zvinhu zvidini zviite zvakanaka. Kana voona zvavakuita zvakanaka pamwe pacho tombozimbopindai riri red namapurisa vachitira kuti mota dzikurumidze kufamba. Kana vaona dzatapuka vobvawo pakati perodi. Zvino midziyo yedu yamakamera iyi ichange ichizvinzwisisa here nokuti tose topara mhosva. Tinotenda.
Honorable Minister.
Tinotenda mubati wechigaro. Ndoda hangu kutenda zvakare Honorable Senator nemubvunzo wavawedzera. Vataura kuti dzimwe dzenguva makamera aya marobots anogona kusachinja nenguva anofanira kuchinja. Asi kana ikaramba riri red risingachinja harisi mvume kuti chipinda nekuti kamera zvainoita inongoona kuti robot ranga riri kuri red kwenguva yakareba asi wapinda. Kamera haizofungi kuti wangosika inongoziva kuti rikaita 5 minutes riri red asi wapinda. Asi chazvakanakira ndechekuda izvozvo tiri kusenza pamwe chete nemamwe atingati pachirungu mastakeholders. Ivo ministry vetransport kushanda pamwe chete, velocal government vagarwe tiri kushanda pamwe chete, city of Harare kuitira kuti zvese zvishande pamwe chete zvidyidzane nekuti ivo marobots anofanira kungashanda zvakanaka. Vataura nyaya yemapurisa dzimwe dzenguva mapurisa anoti pindai ndosaka paine kamera inozviona kuti mupurisa akutipinda mupurisa aripo. Kamera inorekodha haingorekodhi zvongopfuura mubati wechigaro. That video footage inotochengetwa database kuitira mangwana pane yatinoti zvakare evaluation nekuti system inongoona kuti wapara mhosva but kuseri kune munhu manje vanoita authenticated decision yaitwa nemasystems kuti pane pasina kuparwa mhosva system yakuti wapara mhosva Secondly, or finally, paunopuwa ticket kunzi wapara mhosva, video inobva yatouyawo as evidence pafoni pako ipapo kuti mhosva wapara ndeiyi wapinda apa. So unokwanisa kushandisa iyo nokuti kana wanzi wapara mhosva zvisi kunzi watonziwa kutoenda kujeri wakudini, une right yekuti aiwa handina kupara mhosva nechikodzero chakati chakati. Zvino zvinenge zvakuenda kukoti zvoonekwa kunzi pachishandiswa yatingati evidence yevideo iya nokuti inenge iripo ndo ziso racho. Ukati handina kupinda nekupamba nemupurisa, video inongoplayiwa yoonekwa kuti zvichopamba nemupurisa, iwe wacho unenge uinayo pafoni pako. Saka hakuna machinjirwo aingaitwa. Saka muchidimbu Mr. President, ndototi iyi teknoloji yakanakisa anokuti haimwe doro, hairare, haite sei, hainyengerwe, inobudisa pachena zvawakaita musi wacho, haina corruption. Tinotenda.
Mazvita, I recognize the Honorable Senator Katumba.
Mazvita, Honorable Chair. Mubvunzo wangu uri kuenda kuna Minister of Home Affairs. Honorable Chair, ndoda kunzwisisawo kubva kuna Minister of Home Affairs nekuti tiri kubvunzwawo nevanhu totadza kuzvipindura kuti zvakambomira sei panyaya yekunzi mapurisa vaakusungira vanhu kuti uri kudhiraivha mota yeclass 4 iwe uine class 2. Saka ndoda kunzwisisawo kuti zvakambonyatsomira sei kuti tigogona kupindura vari kutibvunza. Mazvita.
Honorable Minister.
Tinotenda mubati wechigaro. Ndisati ndainzwa nyaya iyi asi ndinoitarisa, ndinoizeya kuti chii chiri kuitika, ndodzoka nemhinduro.
Thank you. The Honorable Senator Ndlovu Richard.
Ngiyabonga President of the Senate. Umbuzo wami uya ku Minister of Local Government. Umbuzo omdala usubuzwe kanengi but engabonakali. Umbuzo wami uqondana lobuduna chieftainship yakomahwatshu.
Order. The minister is struggling to get the right channel, so you better wait until he is online. Channel 4, I think. Can you hear, Minister? Can you start all over again, Honorable Senator Ndlovu?
Ngiyabonga, President of the Senate. The umbuzo wami uqondana lo Minister of Local Government. Ngiyabona ebantwini abaningi asombuzo omtsha, umbuzo omdala. Ngibuza ukuthi imuli yakomahwatshu isimangele ukuthi kanti ubuduna lobu abupheli yini indaba bungakwani ngoba kwathunyelwa izinduna zeMatabeleland South Province njengenjwayelo ukuyahlala phansi lemuli yakomahwatshu. That was 5 years ago. Bahlala phansi babuza abakubuzayo kwaphela uzange kube lahlupho, imuli yavumelana. Kodwa sekuthethe isikhathi eside bengezwa mpendulo, bengezwa ukuthi kuhamba njani. Sesizwa ukuthi kuthiwa ngapha in the same area eduzane sekule creation of a chief, ngasekuze bababili kwi creation, but le ubuduna obukhona bungabonakala. Cela ukwazi ukuthi imuli ithi ifuna ukwazi ukuthi kuhamba njani uhulumende. Ngiyabonga.
Honorable Senator Ndlovu, that is not a policy question. It's a specific question. But if the minister is conversant with that, I will give you the opportunity, Minister. But if you want to go and find out, it's perfectly in order because that's not policy at all.
Yes.
You can stand up and say that.
Thank you very much, Honorable Senate President. This is a very specific question which needs a lot of research. I request that the Honorable Senator puts it in writing, then we take it accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Senator Umlilo.
Ngiyabonga mthungameli ukunikeza leli thuba Umbuzo wami ngiuqondisa ku-Minister of Local Government. Umbuzo wami umi kanje Mthungameli. Kulesikhathi sezulu, izulu liyana kakhulu, silamalokitshi amadala ilizwe lonke jikelele. Izulu lingana, amanzi ayangena ezindlini. Engena ezindlini kunjalo, nxa ubuzisisa kwabe-council bathi kule mgelo emdala eyagejwa ngabo-1960 esigqibelekile. Mzamo bani abayenzayo njengohulumende ukuthi imgelo liyana igejwe kutsha ukwenzelwa ukuthi amanzi angangeni ezindlini? Ngiyabonga Mthungameli.
Thank you very much, Honorable Senator. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Senate President. Again, this is a very specific question. It refers to a specific location or specific city or town. I request that the Honorable Senator put it in writing so that we will narrow down on that specific area where it's happening. Thank you very much.
Honorable Senator Mlilo, you are advised to put that in writing so that the Minister can bring proper question. I recognize Honorable Senator Mpande.
Ndalumba ikujana imwenya kuti ndambule mubufifi. Imubuzi wangu ulangene aminisa wa mugwagwa. Iwangu mubuzi ulibo. Twagawu mamupululu ntwabona oti batalika ikubeleka mugwagwa we flower to forest. But ikwali no obuno tabechiri bendape. Ende imisana twanusuka misana kupera mumugwagwa. Kama mugwagwa ulifiti. Chiri kwenda tachiope. So imvula yamba kutalika kuwa. Kaba chiswini kaba kede mpao ndau wani kupera. Ndiga datu ndimvizise uli minister. Twalumba.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me thank Honorable Mpande for that very emotional question. And indeed, it is countrywide, talking about Bulawayo Victoria Falls Road. And if you remember very well, we started on that road from Bay Bridge to Bulawayo to Vic Falls on a triple P arrangement, which we are still pursuing. And it was found that it is imperative to address the concerns of that road. And 8 contractors were awarded in terms of the tender, each contractor having about 50 kilometer stretch, to be precise 51 kilometers. And we resumed works mid last year, where we continued, and beginning of this year we've done about 57 or so. And in the last 2 weeks we have opened 14 kilometers, but this is a 440 kilometer road network. And the way we are going to be attending now is to attend to damaged sections, and the type of the model that we have adopted. It's not like we are reconstructing through the entire road network, but we are doing what we call chip and spray, where you find that it will move very fast than what we are doing at Rari Bay Bridge. So I want to assure again, Honorable Mpande, that yes, indeed, the project is sold, not necessarily that the contractors are demobilized, but they were on a go-slow to be actually correct. And some contractors have resumed, but in the next in the next fortnight, you will see that all the 8 contractors will be fully mobilized. Again, the issues to do with funding, which I normally say, Mr. President, in most jurisdictions, when you pose questions to us as ministers, you must take us to account what you have given us as the Augusta House. To say we gave you money for this road, why are you not rehabilitating the road? But you find that in most cases, we go beyond that to think outside the box, so that we find, besides what you give us in this August House. So if you would go to the Blue Book and see what was allocated, it will not even, it's not even enough to rehabilitate that road. So this is another reason, again, why we need to continue thinking how we can mobilize funding. And I'm happy that now we have a solution, and you see that section is going to be covered. And we're also looking closely on the cross-dated to Binga, Honorable Mpande. So it's no longer going to be that road, cross-dated to Binga, and from Binga to Karoi, where we are inviting the private sector so that they participate in that entire road network. So these are some of the initiatives that we are doing. But yes, I do agree, the project had stalled, but you'll be happy very soon where we have accelerated mobilization again. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Can I take another round of questions, if any? Honorable Senator Ndlovu, then Honorable Senator Chief Chikwaka, Honorable Senator Fanwell, Honorable Senator Zindi, Honorable Senator Moyo, in that order. Honorable Senator Ndlovu.
Umbuzo wami nguqondisa ku-Minister of Home Affairs. Ngicela ukwazi ukuthi ama-shrine, ama-provinces, ngubani owakhangelayo ukuthi akhangeleke njengama-shrines ama-war veterans, ngoba akhangeleka nto kusegangeni, kuzimzamo bani enziwayo.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. President, sir. And I would like to thank the Honorable Senator for the question. In terms of everyday maintenance and things, the shrines are taken care of by the Minister of State for Provincial Affairs. But you know, during National Heroes Day, normally there's a budget provided from central government for particular events related to the commemorations, but otherwise generally they are under the Minister of State for Provincial Affairs. Thank you.
Yes. That was a very robust question and answer session in the Senate, where we had senators posing questions to the ministers. We heard from the Minister of Transport and Infrastructural Development when he was asked about what measures is the government taking to make sure that the infrastructure as well as the roads in the country do not continue to be damaged. Honorable Felix Mona did respond by saying that people are avoiding the VID inspectors by traveling at night, and due to this, the ministry is going to be deploying VID inspectors to be working at night to make sure that those people who are trying to avoid the law will be attended to. And while we are on the roads of the infrastructure, we also heard from the Minister of that is the Foreign Affairs, as well in conjunction with the ZRP, speak about the cameras that are being installed to make sure that the motorists adhere to the regulations of the road. And this also comes after earlier on today, the Commissioner General in the ZRP, that is Stephen Mutamba, spoke about people adhering to the road and traffic rules of the roads. This is in conjunction with the celebrations of the Heroes Day, as well as the Defense Forces that will be taking place next week. Another question was also posed in the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education about what the ministry is doing to make sure that the learners are equipped with skills that they can use outside of the schools. And we heard about, we heard Honorable Torerai Moyo speak about the education, that is the Education 5.0 by mentioning that this is there to make sure that the learners are equipped with practical skills that they can use outside. And this is him. He also spoke about the 3% GDP that is in the research as well as innovation, which are also part of the 5 pillars of the Education 5.0, to make sure that this 3% goes towards learners who are innovating prototypes that can help in the outside world. So these are not all, but just some of the issues that were taking place in today's Senate question and answer session. And of course, that brings us to the end of today's Senate question and answer session. My name is Tanaka Mandofa. From myself and the team behind the scenes, we wish you a pleasant viewing.
Deliciously orange and delightfully pulpy. Grab it, taste it, pulp it. Minute Maid Pulpy Orange. New look, same great taste.
Missed the breaking news on ZBC? Missed your favorite show again because you were stuck at work? Not anymore. Introducing Z Plus, the new ZBC OTT platform. Listen to Radio Zimbabwe, Classic 263, Power FM, National FM, or any of your favorite ZBC radio stations live and stay connected to the latest music, sport, talk shows on radio wherever you are. You can also stream ZBC television live and catch up on news, dramas, sport, gospel, or your classic shows whenever it suits you. Listen and watch on your phone, tablet, or smart TV, anytime, anywhere. Download the Z Plus app now from the Google Play Store or Apple App Store, or visit zplus.co.zw. Z Plus, home in your pocket.
Across Zimbabwe, agriculture continues to be part of the economic expansion, driving industrial output, strengthening exports, and delivering measurable year-on-year value chain growth. One platform stands at the intersection of capital and innovation, the 116th Zimbabwe Agricultural Show, from the 24th to the 29th of August 2026. Join us as we roll out under the theme Powering Growth, where agriculture, technology, and commerce converge. ZAS 2026 is the ultimate nexus for enterprise. It's a premier ecosystem where primary producers, tech giants, and industrial leaders synchronize to deliver market-ready solutions. Gain exclusive access to the Agricultural Research Excellence and Technology Indaba, the forum where experts turn industry challenges into high-level commercial opportunities. If growth is your mandate, if market leadership is your objective, if success is your horizon, then see you at ZAS 2026. For more info, visit www.zas.co.zw.
Deliciously orange and delightfully pulpy. Grab it, taste it, pulp it. Minute Maid Pulpy Orange. New look, same great taste.
Zimbabwe's biggest agricultural and business showcase is back.
from 24 to 29 August. Experience ZAS 2026, powering growth where agriculture, technology and commerce converge as Zimbabwe celebrates innovation, investment and enterprise. Make sure your brand is seen, heard and remembered. Advertise with ZBC and enjoy unbeatable exposure across television, radio, digital and social media. Reach every province, reach every market, reach Zimbabwe. Book your ZAS campaign today. Contact Mildred 0712 831 177 or Thelma 0776 413 261. Email marketing@zbc.co.zw. ZBC, Zimbabwe's #1 broadcast partner.
Missed the breaking news on ZBC? Missed your favorite show again because you were stuck at work? Not anymore. Introducing Z Plus, the new ZBC OTT platform. Listen to Radio Zimbabwe, Classic 263, Power FM, National FM, or any of your favorite ZBC radio stations live and stay connected to the latest music, sport, talk shows on radio wherever you are. You can also stream ZBC television live and catch up on news, dramas, sport, gospel, or your classic shows whenever it suits you. Listen and watch on